Hi everyone! Today's video is all about trusting in God. Sometimes it can be hard to trust in God. Sometimes when things are going wrong everywhere, we start trusting in other things instead, like what we can do to fix things, how we can change things, instead of asking God to help us. Even Jesus' closest friends sometimes forgot to trust Jesus. Let's find out what happens in today's story. Later, Jesus and his disciples went down to the lake. They were going to a town on the other side. The disciples climbed into the boat. Jesus stayed behind. "You go on ahead," he told the disciples. "I have something I need to do first." At last, the crowd went home. Jesus sat alone on the mountain to pray. Later that night, Jesus looked out over the lake. The boat was now far from the shore, tossing this way and that. The disciples were struggling to row the boat, fighting against the wind and the waves. Splash! Crash! It was still dark when the disciples saw a white figure coming towards them. They were terrified. "It's a ghost!" they cried. But it was Jesus, walking on the water. Jesus called to the disciples, "Be brave, it's only me." "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," Jesus said. So Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water towards Jesus. But he was scared and began to sink. "Save me!" he cried. Jesus reached out his hand and caught Peter. "Did you doubt that God would save you?" Jesus asked. As they climbed back into the boat, the wind died down. The disciples were amazed. "You really are the Son of God," they said to Jesus. I hope you enjoyed that story. For our craft today, we're going to make an origami boat that you can play with and float on water. Let's see how we do it. Fold a piece of paper in half. And then fold it into half again. Open it out again. And then fold the top corner to the crease to make a triangle. Do the same thing on the other side. It should now look like this. We're going to take the bottom and fold it up so that it meets the triangles at the top, just one of the layers. Now fold that section again so it's overlapping the triangles. And then when you've done that, take the parts that are sticking out and you're going to fold them over the triangles so that they're folded to the back. Now you're going to fold back the tiny triangles so they overlap the big triangles you made earlier. So that it looks like this. Now take the bottom section and fold it up so it meets the other folded section that you did earlier. Now open it out again. Turn it over, and using the crease you just made, fold up that rectangle. Now fold it over again, and it should cover the little triangles that you'd folded back earlier. Now you're going to open it up a bit like it's a hat and keep on pulling until it becomes a diamond shape. Press that down. So now your piece of origami should look like this. You're going to fold up the bottom point and then you're going to turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. So it should look like this. Now you're going to open it out again like a hat and fold it flat. So it now looks like this. So now we're going to turn it up like this, turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. we should have a little triangle that points out at the top. Okay, now we're going to take the two parts from the middle and pull them apart, and you will have made your boat. This boat can float on water. You could try it in the sink or in the bath or maybe in a pond. I hope you enjoy playing with your paper boat. See you next time.